You know, I never thought I'd actually hear myself say this, but I have come to absolutely friggin' love this MMO. Alrighty, let's get to it. See, the reason I say that is because for the longest time growing up, I never had any interest in MMOs. Mostly because I was poor as hell, so there was zero chance of my folks forking over a subscription fee every month for WoW or EverQuest, no matter how much I promised I'd get good grades or do chores and all that junk. So the years went on, and I'd stick to my single-player RPGs, only ever seeing MMOs through the occasional TV show like Portal or South Park's WoW episode. Anybody remember Portal? You know, on good old G4 TV, man. Anybody? Man, I'm old. Or, you know, getting to do the free trial on motherfucking Fusion Fall, baby! And sure, some free ones would crop up from time to time, like RuneScape, which bored me to tears no matter how good my friends tried to convince me it was. Sorry to anyone who enjoys RuneScape, it just wasn't my cup of tea. And still kind of isn't. I actually liked Trove when that came out, but mostly because it was just like Minecraft, but with actually fun combat. Though that would quickly fade out of interest. And yeah, just sort of went on like that for years and years. Until somewhere around 2022, I think. I'm sitting pretty with not much in the way of new games to play. Bad habit of watching YouTube videos while I'm a day job, all secret-like. Wanting something to have on in the background, I stumbled across a series of videos from the fallen legend himself, JoeCat. I'm not going to linger on the point because enough has been said on the topic from people more eloquent than me, but he deserved none of what happened to him. And it depresses the hell out of me knowing that someone as kind and talented as him was forced into early retirement for no good reason. I hope you have success in whatever comes next for you, Joe. Just know, you are going to be missed. You will be missed more than you could ever understand, okay? Like I said, good luck to you, man. I've been following old JoeCat for a while, loving his videos about Monster Hunter and D&D and stuff. Then I see he started a series called A Crap Guide to Final Fantasy XIV. Oh, I had heard of this particular game many a time thanks to my longtime love for the Final Fantasy franchise. So of course I was curious to see what Mr. Wigglerhead had to say about it. That first video was great, as would every one of his to follow. But seeing him break down the roles like he did got me even more curious about what the game in general was really like.
Gunbreaker is called a tank, but everybody knows it's just 3 DPS in a trench coat as designated by the fact you get a fucking gun and your swings explode. But you have to be a hardcore gamer since it requires a lot of cartridges.
And so I began to dig deeper into the FF14 mines to see what I'd been missing out on. Hearing about how awesome the community was, about how amazing the story is, well, okay, it being amazing when you get to Heaven's Word, and how you can apparently focus on playing the story as if it were a single-player RPG. That's what really got me interested. Hearing that I didn't have to rush to max level to get to the real game like I always heard my friends say about WoW, it really sounded cool to me. So I'll bet you assume that I did the smart thing and got myself that fancy free trial that lets me play up till Heaven's Word at the time. Stormblood as of writing this. Nope. See, what had happened was, I saw the base game go for sale on Steam a few years back, and being naive to the trial and how it worked, I picked it up, thinking I might want to give it a try someday if I had nothing else to play. So of course my brilliant self went ahead and just booted up the game from that, along with buying the expansions, which I think may have also been on sale if I can't really remember, and going with the 30 free days it gives you, not knowing I locked myself out of ever using the free trial on this account. It's a good thing the game managed to hook me like it did, or else I'd have been pissed. So I forged only the mightiest and most distinguished of characters. Got nice and comfy and dove headfirst into the land of Eorzea for the very first time. So yeah, I'll admit getting through Realm Reborn was just about as rough as I had heard. Tons of reading with very spaced out voice acted scenes to break things up, pretty mindless quest design, and characters that I can best describe as alright enough to care about, but not much else. Special shout out to my boy, guy running the vineyard we had to go to a bunch of times in ARR. I'll bet he'll be super important come Dawn Trail. You don't believe, you'll see, you'll all see. You best believe it. I could definitely see the bones what everyone was talking about though. Combat was your typical tab targeting stuff, but the AoE markers made you have to pay attention to the fight more, and not just stand in place spamming attacks. The dungeons were a bit linear, but with the great visuals, and the proper bosses have all been a blast so far, even though I still haven't fought Odin yet because no one wants to queue for it. Seriously, I've had this queue timer going for an hour before I finally gave up. What is everybody afraid of? The story was a bit dry, but there were certain parts that actually got me pretty interested, especially in the post-main game content of ARR. I was actually getting pretty invested in the plot.
She always was a most unwilling puppet. I dare say her grace was grateful that someone thought to cut her strings.
Here he is, the biggest douche of the universe.
Yeah. Invested. And yeah, people were not kidding when they said the community in this game is amazing. I never once had anyone get upset because I didn't know a mechanic, or disband a party because we wiped. And hey, even with my crippling social anxiety, I managed to have some great conversations with people. And I've gotten tons of FC invites that I declined because, as stated above, social interaction is my biggest weakness. Legit, I am sorry to the great folks sending me these invites. It's nothing against you or your group. It's just, it's a big choice, and I just want to play the field for a little bit. I'm just not ready for that kind of a commitment. So I think it's pretty clear I'm sticking with this game for the long haul. I'm just about to wrap up Heavensward at the time of writing this, and yeah, it's hard to argue when people say Heavensward is where the story gets really good. The new voice cast is phenomenal. Ishgard is such a great locale. I finally got to become a machinist, even though I switched to Gunbreaker at level 60. Yshola and Thancred both get naked, and thankfully, and this is the biggest compliment I can give Heavensward, is I haven't felt the need to check the MSQ list to see when I was going to be done with it, unlike A Realm Reborn. God damn you, Crystal Tower, making it take even longer. Be thankful the raid itself was fun, or else I swear to God. Oh, and I didn't even mention all the side stuff and little distractions that made up Lord knows how many hours of my playtime in this game. Crafting and gathering jobs actually being awesome, damn near having entirely separate games worth of content and mechanics all to themselves. It's pretty damn addicting trying to get high quality crafts for yourself or to make bank on. The Gold Saucer is such a cool place to hang out with people online. I friggin' love Triple Triad when I played Final Fantasy VIII for the first time, so seeing that I can not only play it here, but in places all over the game like it was goddamn Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm challenging mofos to a duel was so awesome. Not to mention all the big events you can play there that are a blast even though I suck at them all. Oh, and the Hildebrand side quest is so fun. It's like you're playing through a cheesy 90s anime with some of the goofiest shit I've ever seen in the series. Not to mention Gilgamesh is tied to it, which only makes it like 1,000 times better. My only issue is I really wish it was voice acted. Maybe in later parts they do, but it's such a shame you can only read your way through these early parts, you know? Being a Lalafell is incredible, and I will not hear otherwise. I'm a 3-foot tank with a gunblade and absolutely no mercy. See? It's like right there, I'm hotbar, right there, see? I'm adorable, I ruin every cutscene I'm in, and I can sit on anything in the game and it never looks out of place.
This is what I do, I sit on you, sit on you, sit on you. This is what I do, I sit on you, right on your lap.
Except when I'm running Midgard Surmer. Seriously, what the hell happened here? Oh, and I'll admit, the idea of playing an MMO with a controller sounded insane. Even with my entry-level knowledge of the genre, I knew you needed tons of keys to make it work. But goddamn, Square Enix not only made it work, but honestly, it's become my preferred way to play. It's just so nice being able to do my rotations with just my thumb, while easily moving out of mechanics, and the way you can easily set up the triggers to give you tons of extra options on the fly, it's so good. Can't say I see it working too well for healers given the slower targeting, but for tanks and DPS I seriously recommend it. Oh, and I'll admit it's not really related to the game directly, but it's thanks to me researching 14 so much that I found a lot of my new favorite content creators. Jesse Cox, Captain Grimm, Kazuna Kip, Just Russ, Lucy Pyre. And of course, the ultimate legend. The primal we Lalafell summon when we come together. Pint. Seriously, all of them are amazing and all deserve all the love, so just go support them, seriously. And with that, I think I'm out of stuff to ramble about. Yeah, this is a tad all over the place, I'll admit. But I just wanted to give a little primer on my intro and current love of this game, given I intend to do more stuff with it going forward. I'm gonna try and do like overview, analyses, sort of review things for the expansions as I go through them. So yes, that means I am hooked in and I am taking this ride all the way to Dawn Trail. That'll only be like 600 plus hours, right? Oh boy. This game really has been a wild ride so far, and it's thanks to the community that I've felt so welcomed by it. You're all really good people. You all helped make this experience a lot less scary for someone like me. And honestly, that has been the best part of discovering this wonderful realm. Well, hello. I really appreciate you guys making it to the end of the video. Just a couple of things to wrap up here. I just want to give a massive shout out and thank you to Pirate Software and his game Heartbound, the music from which you've been hearing all throughout this video. 1, because it's all phenomenal stuff, and 2, because he lets people use it for their projects without having to worry about any copyright or anything. So thank you again so much, Thor and Stygian Van Wackeren? I think it's how you say it. Stygian Van Wackeren? Stein Van Wack? You guys are the freaking best. Go out and support Heartbound if you can. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys next time with whatever the hell I decide to do next.